Michel Gondry. He is, of course, the director of Green Hornet. Thank you very much for joining us this morning.
Thank you for coming in the hotel.
Now, as I mentioned, of course, your resume is very long. You have a lot of credits. At this point in your career, I'm sure you can probably choose the projects you're working on. Why did you choose the Green Hornet?
Well, it's a first project of this size that's been proposed to me. We doesn't have this sort of heaviness or pretentiousness that most projects like that have. There is a take on the superhero which is pretty refreshing. Just a simple concept that the sidekick is actually cooler than the hero, and he is a real hero. And just the humor in general is something that's really lacking I don't think we see so many action comedy anymore. So I was happy to bring back a little bit this genre.
Now, of course, you've probably seen the Green Hornet television show. There was a radio show. What things were kept from the original, and what things were changed, and why?
Well, the main thing we kept was, we kept the car from the shows from the 60s, and some of the tricks, like the car turning, the door opening, and some iconic image, costume. The main thing we wanted to change, and we did change, it was this dynamic between the sidekick and the hero, and it was weird in the TV show because, I mean, that's not said that put it this way, but I think it's a pretty good example. Like, Kato will save the life of Britt Reed, and then serve him a coffee in the next shot, and this notion of servant that was sort of very colonialist, I would call it, and this is something we wanted to change.
Now, when you are dealing with a character that's already established, what are the challenges of writing or adapting a script?
Well, I can't really answer directly because I didn't write, but of course I participated, gave my idea. I think it was pretty, well, there is a list of rules we can break, like Kato can't be a woman, for instance, and I think he has to be from Asia, or there is some rules like that. But except from that, it's pretty open, and the funny thing is that the Green Hornet is it is the first superhero through the radio show. It was before Superman or Batman, and a lot of elements that are part of the Green Hornet seems stereotyped now because they've been copied again and again, like walking in a big paper and being a vigilante at night and so on. So we had to spin that around a little bit to give it a new approach.
Now, the movie, of course, was done in 3D. A couple of questions, a multifaceted question here. Is 3D going to be sort of the way movies are done in the future? And what are the biggest challenges in directing a film in 3D as opposed to previously when you wouldn't have done that?
Well, I don't think all the movie will be in 3D. I was wondering that yesterday when I watched the film. I mean, it's really, really great to watch it in 3D. I don't know, it's very hard for me to have an opinion. Is it a fashionable thing? In America, some people have been criticizing this effect, but it's important to know that most people will see the film in 2D because they will see it on television or DVD, and it's going to be in 2D. So I think 3D has become an element of argument that is very, it's played a lot in the media, and I don't think it deserves so much. Personally, I love 3D because since I was a kid, my grandfather was doing 3D photo or video, and I myself could draw in 3D by doing the two perspectives and then crossing my eyes. So it's a process that that really intrigued me, and I think in a few occasions I really try to use it as a creative tool. There is a moment with the split screen where really we use the 3D to divide the screen in the third dimension, which was not done before. So for me it's a more creative approach, but I can understand that some people don't find it so comfortable to watch.
A question, I just want to be a little self-indulgent here, and a question about your directorial style. You have worked on music videos with just about everybody, Paul McCartney, White Stripes, Chemical Brothers, Radiohead, I could go on and on and on. What is it like working with some of these stars, as well as the movie stars? Is this a humbling experience for you? Is it a situation that you're assertive? Do you kind of tiptoe around people like this?
No, well, basically, I started in a band. I was a drummer of my band in the early 80s. And in the mid-80s, I did video for them. And I could not impose my idea because they were creative people as much as I was. And it's not just because I happened to buy a camera that would have the final word on the idea. So I learned how to respect everybody's opinion and sort of integrate my idea to their idea. So that was one thing that helped me to work with many artists, like Björk, for instance. She has so many ideas that I have to use this faculty to digest all the ideas coming from outside and make them mine in a way. And that works with the most famous people or actor as well. So, but I always try to be comfortable with people and forget about the status and try to show them the way they are really. I mean, some have big egos, and I don't want really to inflate that and try to minimize this aspect. But most people are very similar at core, so I try to find this similarity. So that applies to bigger star or completely unknown people, and I think it helped me to deal with actors because they're dealing with this sort of ego problem, which is developed by the manager. It's interesting in show business. Well, it's interesting that in show business, people think that artists with bigger ego will be more successful. So management have tendency to boost their ego. And I think my job is to deflate ego. And no matter if I do a video or a movie, it's the same process. I just have to deflate ego to make the character approachable.
Okay, thank you very much for joining us. Michel Gondry, of course, director of Green Hornet. Thank you very much. Thanks.